favorite memory of AT&T Stadium?
Oh man, golly, I'm probably going to say the scoreboard. I think the first time I ever coached there, I just kept looking up, thinking, "How damn big is this thing?" But yeah, obviously there, and then playing in a place, Dallas Cowboys. I'm from Arlington. Yeah, it's pretty surreal getting to go back there and play.
What are your emotions going? I know you have to stay even and level,
Sure.
but it's playing back at home. It's
Yeah, I was so excited to get to go back there, family and friends, and I said it last week. I know Joey's probably more emotional than I am, but man, I can't wait to. I can't wait to go in there and see the Red Raiders, feel that damn thing, and how loud they're going to be. That to me is going to be unbelievable. I played there back when TCU, or coached back when TCU played LSU, and I thought that was loud. But like I said, with the Red Raiders being hot, and BYU bringing their fan base, it's going to be electric. So I'm excited.
what's the key thing in your mind for this game on Saturday?
Just what you said. Don't change. Just keep doing what we're doing. I mean, what we're doing works. It's just we've Coach McGuire's done a great job this whole year, just molding this team about it being about us. And my message has not changed. We're not trying to do anything superhero. Just go out there and do what we've been doing all year. It's worked. So don't change what you've been doing. And I don't think this team will. It's a mature team, and we're player led. So I'm excited.
Who is the unsung hero on this team? You've been pushing for so many players for so many years. Who's the player that you want to give some love to?
Well, obviously, I love a lot of guys, but I mean, you got to. I don't think Jacob Rodriguez is an unsung hero. I keep talking about Barron because once again, I'm gonna, nobody outside of our coaches and players realize what that kid's gone through for 3 years, pain-wise, and gosh, it's without him. I mean, we've had, Will's won some games for us. Mitch has come in, but Baron Morton's played hurt, literally hurt for 3 years. So that's got to be my guy. I'm not going to change it.
Still got some games to play, but now that the regular season's over, could you kind of go into your overall assessment of the special teams unit?
Oh, I've been excited. It's those dudes. I think you guys got to see. I'm big on the dead rabbits. Those guys, those walk-ons that come here and end up being great players for us. The Trent Lowe's, Gage Elder, Chief Collins. There's I'm sure there's more of those guys, but for what those guys do for us, they're big time. Those guys are big time players for us on special teams, and every game. Bryce Ramirez, he came here as a walk-on. Every game, those guys are the ones that bring me back down to earth. Because if I say something crazy or whatever, they'll snap me back into it. Or when they need to pick me up, they know how to do it. So I think just from the emotional stability that we need those guys to be, I think it's going to be key. With this run that those guys keep doing what they're doing, because we've played really well this year. We've made plays when we've needed to. We've started games fast. We've changed games. So we've had great kicks, we've had punts. So it's somebody each week, but you said it. We're going to need them this week and the rest of the season.
I'm sure you've probably already answered this, but what are your thoughts on the no stone zone phrase?
The no stone zone, coach. Coach comes up with some. He comes up with some dingers or zingers. I don't know what the right word is, but. The no stone zone's been a big deal for our offense because they come back and our plan to win. It's just when we score like they did last week, the no stone zone, it's pretty awesome because we want Stone making extra points, not field goals. So I'm glad he came up with it because it's been working.
Coach, you're part of the original staff, and you and McGuire have known each other for a long time. Just to see this vision come to fruition and have this happen for you guys. I know you still got to go out and win the game,
Sure.
and you still have more season left. But how much does that mean for the both of you just to be a part of this originally?
I don't know how well sometimes when you're friends working together is. I think you're going to have some people that go, yeah, you never hire your friends. And then you're going to have people like him and I go, yeah, you do, because we're more like brothers. We can say whatever we want to each other, and then we turn around and we go do our job. He said some things to me that, anybody else said to me, I'd probably whip their ass. And I'm saying the same thing to him. it's just the way it is. I love that dude, and for what he's been through, from high school, what he's done here, and you guys know, I mean, this is a high pressure job, which he relishes that. So I mean, I'm so proud of what what he's done, and it's not done. I mean, it's, everybody's all the time when he's going, he's going to get taken. No, he ain't going nowhere. He loves this. This is him. No place else fits him better than this place. And, so from that standpoint, I'm happy, for him and his wife. I mean, man, she doesn't. I mean, everybody credits Joey, but man, Debbie does a lot for this community as well. So they fit in well, and I'm happy for him. I really am. I'm just glad that, we're at this stage we're at in year 4. He kept saying year 4, year 4. That's kind of when we got here. I didn't know if I could make it to year 4, but I'm glad I made it, and I'm so happy. Like I said, I'm so happy for our fans that he created this environment along with our administration, along with Cody and our donors. Those guys, they've created this for us, and I'm thankful just to be part of the ride.
You mentioned it earlier. You were excited going back to AT&T Stadium, going there during your high school coaching days. Speaking of which, when you were at Bowie, there was one year where your slowest defender ran a 4.740. So on that note of Joey mentioning just Red Raider speed and violence and finding that extra gear, what are kind of your thoughts of seeing this team really taking it to that next gear since playing BYU the first go-around?
I think we've played that way all year. I really do. Even versus Arizona State. I mean, I think at this time everybody wants to go, well, you've got to make that next leap. Man, I think we've made we've been playing at that level. We've practiced that level. We've gone into games. I think our statistics. I'm not a stat guy. I'm a win guy. But I think if you look at the stats, it says that we've played that level. This time of year now, it's about winning. Whatever you have to do to win the game. That's what it's going to be about, and I just don't see us. Everyone's like, well, I don't see us doing anything different. I really don't. I think we're gonna go out today. We're gonna practice hard. We're gonna practice hard on Wednesday, Thursday, our walkthrough day. Friday's gonna be a practice, and then we're gonna come to play Saturday. I don't know why we would do something different than we've done all year. And like I said, once again, that goes back to Coach's message and how he's kind of raised this team. It's not gonna be any different to me.
Back to your relationship with Joey on the broadcast the other day, you were confused.
Yeah, that was. I don't look nothing like him. First of all, I mean, I'm probably a little bit heavier than he is, and he looks more weathered than I do. I mean, he's been through. He had a good. I've never had hair. His hair since he's been here has turned gray, and he's lost half of it. So, I don't know how the hell they got us confused, because I was looking at them, and I had about 80 people text me that picture, and I'm sure he had 180 people text him, and I just kept sending the same back. We don't look nothing alike, so I don't know how they got that mixed up.
I know Joey said you guys are practicing indoors a lot this week. How much easier is that as a special teams coach, knowing the elements won't be a problem for your kicking?
Well, you know what? I'm going to answer that for you. Everybody else is practicing indoors but me. I do not like making things easy. I really think that's one of the reasons why we've been successful here, is because no matter what the weather is, me and our boys are outside. But we are going to do some stuff. It's just, we can't punt indoors. So we're going to kick indoors, but we're going to punt outside, punt return, just because we want to get the full effect. And like I said, I want to get them out there in the cold a little bit, just to say, hey, man, if you want to keep playing indoors, you keep winning, because I think most of the sites are probably indoors. But it's going to be good. It ain't going to change us. We like to win. Like I said, I love the kicking in the wind, because we get that here, and I think that's an advantage for us in Lubbock, Texas.
Going back to Debbie, just talking about how important a coach's wife is. We know how important Miss Terry was to the Alabama program. Do you have any core memories of how Debbie has impacted this program?
Yeah, I just think just the way that, man, she involves this community. When she first got here, I can remember her telling me, I got to figure out a way to make this community better from Texas Tech football, and she's done that. She's in so many organizations. She tries to involve everybody, and obviously she's Joey's biggest critic as well. I mean, you guys remember her talking about Joey. I like her. We need to win more games. But how she is with our coaches, the wives on the team, all the students, all the players. When she gets here, those kids flock to her, and then when she's in the community, she's just thinking of ways that she can impact Lubbock, Texas. And I'm sure there's there's other places like that, but she just does it to the level of, she's just everything about it's thankless. She doesn't want you to slap her on the back. She just wants to make Lubbock better, Texas Tech, and she loves these kids. And I just, it shows. I mean, when kids come up to her and hug her and tell her thank you, and people in the community stop her, and I love when they want to take her picture instead of Joey's, to be honest with you, because he ain't ever met a camera that he didn't love. So it's just fun when you get to see her get some of that.
Coach, going back to that scoreboard, there's punts that hit that scoreboard. Have you made Jack aware of that at all?
What's that?
Going back to the scoreboard, it's not uncommon for a punt to actually hit the scoreboard. Have you made Jack aware of that at all?
Yeah, I don't know that Jack's got that level of leg, so I don't know if I'm going to have to worry about him hitting the scoreboard. I do have to worry about him hitting the indoor because he does hit that roof, but I'm sure everywhere I've been, guys have tried to go in there and do that, and I'm sure that I'll probably get mad at him if he does that just pre-game. But Jack's a pro, man. What a weapon he's been for us. So hopefully he goes in there and does the same thing that we've been doing every week. If he goes in there and does something different, then I'll probably go sideways.
Just looking back at BYU, the last time you played them, have you seen anything different in their approach to special teams?
No, I told you going back, they were as good. I thought they were one of the teams that was as good as us. They're well coached. They got great specialists. They got great return guys. Really do. They had a big punt return last week, so we're going to have our hands full, and it's going to come down to who wins the special teams battle. Between us, and like I said, those guys do a great job. They're well coached, and they got good players too. So it'll be a challenge.
You talked about Joey a moment ago. He's not going anywhere, how well he fits Lubbock and Texas Tech. Curious, with Kalani Sitake being discussed as a potential candidate at Penn State, it seems like he fits BYU really well. You have any thought on?
I love Kalani. I knew Kalani when he actually was at Utah, just coming into town recruiting, and I went out there a couple of times. He is a great fit, and I don't know Kalani's situation as far as what he's wanting in life, but what he's done for BYU, that's big for the state of Utah. And so I just, if he leaves, I don't see that happening. I don't know. I don't. There's obviously some stuff back there. You go, what money financially, what he sees is a change. Maybe he just wants to change, but he fits BYU as good as anybody that's been there. I mean, he's like Lavelle Edwards, but Kalani's got them playing at a different level. He's and he struggled early, but he was able to right the ship, and look what they've done the last 2 years, really 3 years, 2 years, really good. So I'd hate to see him leave because he's been really good. Now I hope this week, I hope they have a lot of strife. I hope that's messing up their their preparation, but I'd hate to see him leave for what he's done there.
Can you just talk through the fake punt that y'all did on Saturday against West Virginia?
If you guys come to Walkers, we've been working on that punt. Honestly, this is no lie, for 4 years, and they finally gave us a look, and we wanted we really wanted to run the clock out. It wasn't like we were trying to score. We ran out of bounds, but we were really trying to run the clock. We just wanted to keep the clock going. It was more of that, and then I'm like, damn, Coach, we've been working on this thing for 4 years. Let's get a chance to run this. We've run fakes, but that particular fake, we run every single punt period that we run. So I'm like, if I better get a chance to run it right now, they're giving us a look. Let's run it. But it was nothing like trying to run the score up. It was trying to get a first down and keep the clock running is what it was, to be honest with you.
How volatile the coaching carousel is, and with how successful this coaching staff is, has Joey had any conversations with you all about keeping that sidelined until the end of the season?
He knows it's the bad part of this. They got to change it. They got to change it, or they got to start penalizing schools for tampering with people. There's got to be something different because, I'm the first one to say we got great coaches, Shield and Mac. I could totally see them, getting a job, but I'd hate for what happened at Ole Miss to happen here because that should not happen. I mean, I'm sorry. It's about one. There's one person that gains in those situations. The kids lose out. The alumni base lose out. The school loses out. Those coaches lose out. Everyone that's been working their butt off since last spring, and it comes down to now we're in the playoffs and you're gone. That ain't right, and they got to fix that.
All right, thanks, KP.
Yep.
Let's go.